we have a bunch of adventurous people, adventurous young people, making the journey from Toyama province to, from Toyama City, heading towards Takayama City to make their fortunes and make their ways in life. So I think, well, why don't we just start here? David, if you could introduce your character, the basic gist of who this person is and what they're up to.
Okay, so the character is named Rokuru Hanzo. They're traveling down from the city of Kanazawa in Kaga province, born to an Eita family who was facing economic difficulties, traveling because he got into a little bit of trouble in his home city and wanted
to start anew.
Yeah, start anew. Okay. Avoid those difficulties, and he's looking to find a patron, so that he can help support his family. And his real aim is to establish himself as a martial artist, because that might give his family a chance to rise up in the world if he can make a name for himself.
Okay. All right, nice. Ron, who's your person?
Let's see. I believe putting the surname first. The name is So Mataji.
Okay.
And the born into a buke family, but of the lowest rank. Or rather, yes, caste is buke and is a Ronin.
The Ronin level. Yeah. So your family are not in service.
No, they are not. And in fact, dead. Thoroughly not, especially with rank number 1. And so I am basically the lowest possible buke you can possibly be. Yes. And hence Ronin and Bushido and Bushi is my thing. Mataji is the cheapest possible date as far as samurai are concerned. So, okay. Yes, he is a very scruffy, looking at a martial artist, Eita, and him, on paper, they're worlds apart, sitting in the roadside bun-buying stall, they probably don't look very different. So.
No, that's true. That's true. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kurosawa was from a very, very, very impoverished samurai family. Mm-hmm. So he was broke as a kid, but, well, I guess I'm an aristocrat in some other world. Okay, and Gregory, what's your human?
Okay, so my character's name is Asakura Mitsu. Asakura. So she's not as low as she's from a buke family too. She's a lower rank samurai, so she's not running, but she's the lowest rank of the possible level samurai. So the story is that she comes from a minor clan in the province that suffered various throwbacks like bad harvest and military coup from rival. And her brother was the only male son of the family, and now she's the oldest of the daughter, and she has been asked to look for a good husband that could improve, the family situation with good aliens or resource or any kind of way. And that's not okay. So that's not really her priority to herself. So she has made this promise. She's a bouquet herself, and that's it. She is living in the shadow of her brother, and she wants to prove herself.
Shadow of.
I should have mentioned that my character is clearly, perhaps goes without saying, is clearly in need of a job.
Okay.
Right. Looking for somebody who wants samurai by the bushel. wants he does so by the lot, right? I'll go in with the next lot in the wagon load is my sort of
Yeah, yeah.
my sort
Load
of
me
take,
up.
right? I'm
All
not picky.
right. Okay. Once upon a time, I remember I had this. I think, like a solar system game that nearly ground to a halt because we got into an argument about who was acting when. So, in order to avoid that sort of headache, what I'd like to do is, I mean, you've looked at the rules. They're very detailed rules for the detailed turns, combat rounds. But just to, if sequencing becomes a priority, I'd like to know, who has the right to go first. So up here on the, if you're looking at the owlbear map, I have the little priest. Rinzon is. Let me just have Rinzon there just as an NPC because it just helps make this whole pilgrimage idea make sense. So there's a group of travelers because there's a number of old Shinto shrines in this province that are worthy of a visit, and so this Buddhist priest is accompanying these pilgrims, including old Akito, Mr. and Mrs. Baba. Let's see what we have here.
Ooh,
The
I gotta scribble
Inamura,
notes.
the yeah. Here, I'll get you something in a sec. The Inamura siblings and their cousin, a little boy, and you have three bearers: Joe, Mikuni, and Kento. Now, if you just hold on, I'll get you a little something that can help you with all that. So in Owlbear, I have all the people there. If you do want a little look at that, I'm sorry, in Discord, I sent a screenshot of the people. But here, my point was this: if I could get a D6 roll, and the lower you get, the earlier you get to go when we're resolving things.
Is there a modifier of any kind?
Oh no, this is just like a little utility just to.
Okay.
I'm applying this just to make sure the order of play is clear.
I rolled a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did I roll? Okay. I rolled a 4.
Did you get our numbers?
No, Ron. What is your number?
2.
Oh, okay. Let's see. You didn't roll so. You rolled low, but it helped you this time. So, what did Mitsu roll?
4.
4. Okay. Okay. Tell you what, I will be gracious, and you can go before me. So the order that we have here is, just in case, again, this becomes an issue. I'll assume that the GM is a personal relationship with your characters. I'll use your given names. So Matt G would be the first. Mitsu would be the second. I would go third, and then our good friend Roku. Just in case, again, if we're out of the combat sequence, we need some order. All right. So here you are, walking along the road. Can you tell me this family that you're traveling with are a bit chatty? They're interested in getting to know the people they're traveling with. The three bearers at the back who are carrying extra stuff are stoically going about their "I'm just a bear" business. But if you could just tell me basically when these pilgrims sort of talk to you about your plans, can you just tell me what sort of answer do you give them? How much of yourself do you give away, or what sort of quick answer do you give when one of these pilgrims asks you about what you're doing? So if we could start with Mataji. Are you gruff when they ask you what you're doing? Are you straightforward? Did you share much about yourself?
Um, I will not actually disclose very much.
Okay.
This is my. I'm not going to be, like sort of class rude at them or shame
Right.
them for talking to me or anything like that. I don't
Hmm.
really merit that much, but still, it's not really their business, and
Exactly.
I will simply, courteously. I guess there's a way if there's a way to courteously acknowledge their inquiry
Yeah.
and give the most basic. I seek
Yeah.
I seek I how does one put these things?
Can I give you a contrast? So up at the front, old Aikido is talking to the priest, and they're going back and forth about theology and their spiritual experiences and other shrines they visited, and that's loose and flowing. You are not that. You are being polite, but you give only what you have to do as a traveler on the road with a bunch of strangers. That seems to make sense.
That's what I have in mind. I did want to come up with a phrase that clarifies that um, there are that daimyo seek retainers, and that's what I do. So they
Okay.
know that I'm giving them that I am carrying a daikyo, which
Yep.
is
So
by no
the
means it's by no means an inobvious object. So and
correct.
I've got the two swords, wakizashi and katana. So it's pretty clear this is what I do. But I'm
All
walking
right.
along and I'm scruffy, no horse, no armor.
Yeah.
Right.
And so maybe heading along. So Mitsu, I just sort of put you up near the front, just for now. When they ask about you, they can see that you are wearing the legally allowed armor in this tough province. So you've got some parts of your full armor on. You're allowed to do that. And what kind of response do you give to Mr. and Mrs. Baba or Old Akito when they ask you what you're up to and where you're headed? Do you tell them, are you going to pretend you're on this pilgrimage, or you have a choice? You could say you're walking with these people as co-travelers, or you can say,
Yeah, I think it's a bit like Rondo said, but just the step highest.
mm-hmm,
Like I will say that I'm moving because I want to improve my family's position.
okay,
I don't want to go too much into the details of the reasons because I mean,
they are
like
strangers and don't need to
just
know, but
yeah, of course, and those reasons are difficult to say. So, um, and I will also acknowledge that I'm planning to go to the shrine.
yeah. So that's, again, this is the first sort of genuine pilgrimage you've made. You're coming to this city, and this little token religious gesture is actually, it's a sign of your adulthood, and it gets you some
Okay.
credit with the locals. But these people are they've been going for a long time, visiting various shrines. So they're on some big spiritual journey. All right, and last, Rokuru. Again, you're the guy with the most to hide, but what do you let slip, or how do you inform these sort of,
So
yes?
I'm not open about my Eta heritage. I just pretend to be a peasant.
Yeah,
But yeah, I tell them, I'm looking for work. I can work as a bodyguard. Um, I'm pretty chatty with them.
okay.
Like just kind of, like small talk kind of chatty. Um, I tell them I'm on my first pilgrimage, and I'm along for the ride. But yeah, I'm sociable with them. But I mean, I don't really reveal too much about my dark past, but I'm pretty sociable otherwise.
David,
Okay.
how is your character equipped?
Uh, he wouldn't be showing any weaponry.
Okay.
I believe he has a katana that he would be wrapped up.
Ah,
Mhm.
Uh, Otherwise, he's just dressed like a peasant
okay.
with
That's
average quality clothes. Yeah.
what I need to know. Excellent.
Okay.
So basically, there's a bunch of rumors, and based on your disposition towards your fellow travelers, I just was sort of thinking which rumors you would get first. So, hearing about your job, the bearer, I guess the oldest one, Joe, Joe. He hears about you seeking for work, and he actually has some slightly good news for you. Um, there's a merchant in town called Makoto. He's the biggest money guy in the town, and he does hire bodyguards, but strangely not from inside the town itself. Like he really hires outsiders and people with very little connection to the actual city or the province. That's his preferred employee.
Perfect.
So someone in your case, I think, is what they would go is his ideal candidate. Now, you, let me just see here. You up here in the front are hearing. You hear something a little more, something related to the spiritual realm and the mystical realm and the legendary realm. So we'll give you that one. So the province just you're walking by those big mountains, and it's called the Shinano province, and it belongs to the Lord of Shinano. But he basically has no sway over the top mountain peaks, and in those lands where his control is nominal, there are wild and dangerous at night, and there are legendary creatures, including the sort of humanoid goblins, the bakemono. And the pilgrims have never seen such things. They're only rumors to them. And that's you. I would say this for Mitsu. Have you actually ever seen a ghost or a demon or any of these goblin type creatures? Have you been face to face with a legend?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I assume you have the regular sort of beliefs and metaphysics of this mystical kingdom Nippon, but you have never been face to face with such a creature as they're talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
because my role was really like gender until now, until the death of my brother. So I may have heard of this like in the clan, but I never faced it myself.
Correct. So you, again, we know that Rokaru doesn't want to tip his badass hand too much. But you do hear again. You're asking about what's going on in the city, and these guys, as they've got some rumors again about the big money man, the big number one merchant, the typhoon, really. This Makoto, and he's a very, very wealthy man, but his mansion has never been robbed. So for whatever reason, whether it's because people love him or fear him or whatever, he's a power not to be messed with, or no one's decided to mess with him. So that's the rumor you pick up. In your conversation with these people, is there any information you're pushing for, or is there anything you want to find out about this area or these pilgrims? No? Yes, maybe so.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Yes, Gregor.
Yeah, I think I'll push on the legendary creatures. Like, what do they say about this?
Well, they start going on is, well, they only have rumors, but they start saying is like, they're like twisted and ugly versions of humans, but they copy the ways of the samurai. The big bakemono, the dai bakemono, imagine themselves as fief holders or even lords or daimyo, and their retainers ape the ways of samurai. Even though they're carrying rocks and sticks, they like to think that they live by the code of Bushido and the samurai way of doing things. So that's what you hear about them.
Eric.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Looking at our map, are we? As long as we've got a hex map, a hex crawl, I want to know what hex I'm in. So the question I have, we probably passed the circle B, because that's right there, and we're now in the foothills. Have we actually gotten up under the foothills there?
Well, you're following the road, and you are near again a a small the what is it, the Nobuyasu clan. So you've gone past B, you're traveling around the road. You might see something like a C and a 2. That means like a castle or citadel level 2. And it's still the morning. It's before lunch when you have your first encounter.